High above the sleeping town, where the clouds were soft as pillows and the wind whispered gentle lullabies, a tiny snowflake named Crystal began to fall. She was brand new, just born from the breath of a winter cloud, and so very small, lighter than a whisper, and softer than a sigh. Crystal twirled and glided in the sky, her 6 icy arms stretched out like silver stars. She sparkled faintly in the moonlight, delicate and bright. But still, she couldn't help feeling a little plain. All around her, snowflakes tumbled through the air like a wintry dance. They were white, of course, all of them were white. But Crystal, oh Crystal, she dreamed of being colorful. She wanted to shine like a rainbow. She wanted someone down below to look up and say, "Look! That one is special." So she drifted down, lower and lower, the cool air wrapping around her like a sleepy song. She didn't know where she would land, but she hoped, oh how she hoped, that something magical would happen along the way. And then, just as she passed through a thin mist of fog, Crystal saw it, her very first color. It was a red light, glowing gently from the window of a little house on the edge of town. But it wasn't just any red. No, this red was warm and kind. It was the red of a cozy mitten, the red of a cherry pie cooling on the sill, the red that made you feel safe and hugged and home. Crystal slowed her fall just a little, letting the light reflect off her icy edges. The red danced along her surface like flickers of a fire. Could it be? Could she carry a piece of that color? She wiggled one of her snowy arms and felt the red glimmer stay for just a moment, just long enough to feel real. Maybe, she thought, I don't have to be only white. On she floated, twirling gently through the night air. Drift and dance, glimmer and glide, she whispered to herself. I'll find the colors far and wide. Below her, the town stretched out like a patchwork quilt, stitched together with lights and rooftops and quiet streets. And then, near the center of the town square, she spotted something new. A tree? But not just any tree. It sparkled from top to trunk with the brightest green Crystal had ever seen. But this wasn't a leafy green, like in springtime. No, this green was jingly and jolly. It was the green of pine needles on a snowy morning. The green of candy wrappers and ribbon bows. The green that made you feel giddy, like a tickle on your toes. Crystal spun herself sideways, catching the wind just right, and drifted past the tree. The green glowed softly against her tiny body. She didn't turn green, not exactly, but the light bounced and danced on her arms, and for a heartbeat she felt different. Special. Down below, a child looked up, just for a moment. Could the child see her? Crystal wasn't sure. But her heart, if snowflakes had hearts, fluttered with hope. Drift and dance, glimmer and glide, she sang softly as she spun. 2 colors found with joy and pride. But the ground was getting closer now, and Crystal began to worry. What if she landed before she found her 3rd color? What if she touched the earth still feeling half-finished? Her delicate shape trembled in the wind. She passed rooftops and chimneys, blinking fairy lights and swirling smoke. She passed strings of yellow and pink, purple and gold. They were lovely, yes, but she was looking for one more. Just one more color. And then, there it was. A little toy shop sat on the corner of a quiet street, its window glowing with a soft, calm blue. But not a cold blue. No, this blue was peaceful and deep, like a lullaby wrapped in velvet. It was the blue of bedtime blankets and gentle yawns, the blue that made you breathe slow and feel still inside. Crystal floated closer, the blue washing over her like moonlight. She shimmered, not red, not green, not blue exactly, but something new, a mix. A blend, a reflection of everything she'd seen and felt. She wasn't just white anymore. She was still snow, yes, but now she carried a tiny memory of red warmth, green cheer, and blue calm. And that made her feel different. Not loud or flashy, not rainbow-colored, but special. And suddenly, she understood. She didn't need to become a color. She had seen the colors, felt them, carried them. And now she reflected them in her own delicate way. Just like no 2 snowflakes are ever the same, she didn't need to match anyone else to be beautiful. She was already unique. Drift and dance, glimmer and glide, she whispered once more. I carry colors deep inside. Softly, gently, Crystal floated down to the snowy ground near a glowing lamppost. Around her, other snowflakes landed too. Each one twinkled in its own way. But none sparkled exactly like Crystal. And high above, in the sky she had come from, the wind gave one last sleepy sigh. Crystal had found her colors. She had found herself. And just before she melted into the soft snow, she gave the tiniest sparkle of red, green, and blue, like a secret she'd always known. What color will your snowflake be? But wait, do you hear that? A breeze is blowing again, and a new snowflake is just beginning her fall. Moral: embracing your uniqueness means understanding that your special spark comes from within.